Good morning, Knicks Nation. It is Wednesday, December 16th, 2020. I hope that you all are doing well. I hope you're COVID free. I hope if you do have the COVID, you recover quickly and you can bear witness of how you overcame. And a double blessing upon all the healthcare workers and people that are out here on the front lines, risking their life to care for and help people live. Double blessings to you. Wow, so much is going on in Knicks Nation, but I want to. Where do I begin? First off, let's back up for a second. All right, I'm going to talk about tonight's game. The Knicks have a game tonight. We're excited about that. We're always excited in Knicks Nation when our Knicks are playing. Those of us that are fans. And they're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers at 7:30 Eastern time tonight. I have a Bible study at 7. I'll be doing that Bible study. And then after that, I will be tuning into the game. Okay. Let's go back for a second. If I was to ask you, if you recall, this is December. So let's go back to September. If I was to ask the typical Knicks fan in Knicks Nation, if I was to ask this question, are the Knicks in rebuilding mode? Are they rebuilding? I think most of y'all would have said, yeah, definitely, they're rebuilding now. We got to build up our team through the draft and build up our players and develop them. And then some of y'all had, your notions about certain players. We could develop them. We got to get rid of so-and-so. We got to get rid of Knox or got to get rid of Frank. Got to get rid of DSJ, but we still developing. People don't realize they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. But anyway, I think everybody would agree, though, in whatever capacity, whatever you think rebuilding looks like, that we are rebuilding. Okay? Okay. The plan was to play chess, not checkers. Okay? To look several steps ahead with the end goal in mind of becoming a winning organization that is sustainable in its winning ways over a long period of time. Okay? That was the plan. And that still is the plan. I've also talked to y'all, and I think most of y'all agree. Please don't listen to media. Don't listen to Bondi or Berman. Knucklehead Bondi put out something. It was so disgusting. First of all, in his article, he claims that Tibbs said we need to be aggressive in pursuit of a star. And then he's going to go ahead in the article and say, I think Tibbs is thinking that management is against him. And even if he had an idea to pursue a star, I think he's thinking that Dolan is going to stop him. That was in the article. So this fool all of a sudden, like he's a gypsy or something, like he's a prophet, like he knows what Thibodeau is thinking. But what the problem is, brethren, you don't listen to these people because they don't listen to what Thibodeau is saying. And don't be like them. We are rebuilding. Let me tell you something. Rebuilding, and we talk about the Knicks being on crack, right? And we talk about us not being on crack anymore, right? But let's talk about rehab for a second. Okay, let's talk about rehab. Okay, let's not even deal with, you come into rehab, okay, I had a friend I grew up with. Me and him came up literally from kindergarten. Okay, me and him, we still connect, once in a while. We live in different areas, but we still connect. And we come up from kindergarten. So I've known this brother for 55 years. And we played ball together in high school. And this brother was always, when we all got to our full height, he got like 6'6", like 215 solid. Always been that way. Even right now, he's like 6'6". He hasn't changed. He's really still in great shape. Okay. Same height, same size, same weight as high school. And he's almost 60 like me. See? So we was best friends. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got a crew of friends. I can't say he was the one, but we had like a crew. Like he ate Easter Sunday dinner at my house and his mother would make stuff for me. And, it was like that. Well, crack came up. And my poor homeboy got hooked on it, right? And I hadn't seen him. People was telling me, I was hearing all kind of rumors because I had moved away, and I was hearing from the distance all kind of rumors about my boy. And I wasn't believing that. So one day, I took a trip. I said, man, I'm coming. I got to see him. I didn't even call him. I said, I'm coming. Came to his house, right? This boy, my man, who was 6'6", 215, right? When he answered the door, literally, I almost cried, man. He was 6'6", but he looked like he weighed about $140. I mean, he was drawn. He looked like he had been sleeping on the street and he was in his mother's house. As a matter of fact, from what happened after that, and like I said, I knew him from when he was 5 years old. His mother, he was the youngest, right? You know how the youngest is, right? Especially in the family, you know how the youngest is, right? So they spoiled him. I mean, his mother loved him. His mother put him out. I was heartbroken, man. So what ended up happening is my boy went to a special rehab. It's called jail. And apparently he's breaking in people's houses trying to get, money for the crack. He had already sold everything he had and he had stuff. Going through all that, lost his job, everything. And so he got arrested for breaking in somebody's house, doing a string of robberies or whatever. And they put him in jail for a few years. He went in there, 140, gone, sickly. And people was writing him off, man, he'll never be the same again. My man is done, man. He's done. He was in there, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years. Came out, 6'6", 215. Got his old job back. Okay? Ain't looked back. But when he went in there, he did not look good at all. Like you just thought he was going to get chewed up and spit out. He's done. But he went in there, and for him, it worked out very well. Okay, and he came out, you never know that he had gotten that low. And that's how rehab begins. Okay? It's ugly. You look bad. You look like you'll never be better. But when you do it right, you're completely different on the other end. That's the New York Knicks. Y'all tripping. First off, y'all tripping after 2 preseason games. 2 preseason games. When the man already told you he don't know what the rotation is going to be yet. He's already told you that. And you still tripping. And you trying to analyze every move he makes, like every substitution. Y'all need to stop. For real. I'm talking to the true Knicks fans, not the Knicks haters that's posing as Knicks fans. Okay, there are Knicks haters posing as Knicks fans. I don't know what it is. Either they're a fan of another team and they just like crapping on the Knicks, or they got this, they got sick depression. But unfortunately, in the day and age in which we live, people do talk out of both sides of their mouth. Like, for example, I saw a documentary the other day where they were trying to, in a certain state, build affordable housing for mostly black and brown people because they've been, forced out of their houses because their wages ain't keeping up with what things cost, right? So the developer bought this big lot right next to this, affluent, let's call it, neighborhood. And this Caucasian woman had a big house, nice situation, and they interviewed her. And she said, I don't want black people living next to me in that thing, but I'm not a racist. That's typical of today. She steps out of the house. She said, I don't want them moving here, but I'm not a racist. Dolan's going to mess the Knicks up. We'll never be better. No matter what they do. But I'm a Knicks fan. Stop it. Just go ahead and root for the Nets or something. Don't bring that gloom and depression over here. Go somewhere else. And some people call it realistic. I call it a deep depression. Okay? Realistic is telling you, no, we're not getting James Harden. No, we don't need Russell Westbrook. No, we're not going to bust our cap for old CP3. That's realistic. Depression is, we never going to be good, no matter what they do. That's depression. That ain't realistic. Learn the difference, y'all. Some of y'all. I'm not talking to all Knicks Nation, but the ones that I'm talking about, y'all know. Okay? Let's listen to what Tom Thibodeau was recorded as saying yesterday with regard to the Knicks development. Watch this.
Ready, guys.
Hi, Coach. First question.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Our first question comes from Steve Popper from Newsday.
Hey, Tom. I know that you said earlier this year that you just want to have a say in personnel, but having been a president before, just wondering, on the whole, seeing the Giannis news today, is there a best practices way you see to build a team when you see these free agents? You can't really plan cap space and things like that.
Yeah, well, I think the system is set up to help the team that drafted the player to keep them, and so there's a big advantage. So it's hard to get someone to leave, but every player, every situation is different. So you plan for everything. I think being opportunistic is important. Sometimes there's situations that arise, whether it be through free agency or trade. But I think every day that has to be a priority for the organization to seek out those opportunities. And I think when you look at what's going on in the league, things can change very quickly. And so you work every day with your player development. You try to improve through the draft, and then you have free agency and you have trades. And,
you work every day on player development. You try to improve through the draft, and then you have trades and free agent situations. The Nets are an example of this, as we all know. We saw what happened. Okay? They traded away their future for some old stars. They traded away their future for Kevin Durant. Okay? They traded away their future for Celtics has-beens. Okay? Jason Terry. All right? They traded away their future. And then they were in the garbage for a minute. And they bring in Kenny Atkinson. And they bring in some cheap players. They don't even have first round picks. They had to trade and stuff and to get a low round first rounders. And they get Spencer Dinwiddie. And they get Karis LeVert. Okay? And they get Joe Harris off the scrap heap. And they develop these players. They start off winning 20-something games. Okay? A couple of years down the road, that same crew, that same core, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, they added D'Angelo Russell, who the Lakers had given up on. Okay? Then they drafted the center from Texas there, the long boy from Texas, Jared Allen. Developed them. All of a sudden now, then looking at the 8th seed, 2-3 years down the road, 3 seasons probably was, and they're looking at the 8th seed. And they really are playing good basketball. Then they winning they're 500 now. Took them 3 seasons. And now Kenny Atkinson is now like a genius. He develops his players. All of a sudden, Joe Harris is one of the best shooters in the league. Spencer Dinwiddie is one of the best 6 men in the league. Jared Allen was the better up-and-coming centers in the league. These were all developed. Okay? Then it's time now. They looking at free agents. KD say he might be looking to come east. They got him. And Kyrie Irving. Okay? That's how you do it. Let me repeat. This is year 1. We have stunk for 20 years because of shortcuts. Trying to get shortcuts. That's why we're going in a hurry to go backwards. This is year 1 of the rebuild. Right here. Yes, it's going to look ugly. Yes, you're going to have journeymen. Yes, the youth got to beat out the journeymen for playing time. They have to. And if they don't, we got to move on and get some more youth. That's how we got to do it, yo. We got 2 first rounders coming up in 2021 and 3 second rounders. We have a really good opportunity. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It almost doesn't matter how the balls fall for us this coming draft. We could be 8th, 10th, 5th, 1st. Doesn't matter, because if we're not in position because of the way the ball bounced on draft night to get a Cade Cunningham, to get a Jalen Suggs, to get a Boston, to get a Green, Jalen Green. If the ball don't fall that way, we got draft picks. We could trade. Okay, we could trade. Not only that, this past draft, we all acknowledged it was a weak draft. And look, you had Malachi Flynn in that draft. A lot of y'all would take Malachi Flynn right now. Got Malachi Flynn in that draft. Okay? You had Maxey in that draft. Okay? You had Desmond Bain in that draft. All these guys are playing good right now, by the way. Okay? You had all that. And then late in the lottery now, you had Tyrese Halliburton go 12. What he went? He went 12 for 13, something like that. And you had Devin Vassell fall to like 12 to San Antonio. We're going to get a good player. We can get a point guard for all you point guard style tripping ones. We can get a point guard. We can get one. We're going to have plenty of opportunity. That's no problem. That's why we got the draft picks. Again, since we are rebuilding and this is step one, you have to run your youth to see what they have. You gotta see what they got. And the first hurdle is, can you beat out these journeymen for playing time? If you see you sitting on the bench, it's because they haven't put forth the work that is necessary to overtake the journeyman. That's the real, y'all. Talk about being realistic. That's the real. Y'all blaming Thibodeau for his rotation when he done told you. You gotta earn your minutes. You gotta earn them. See, Fizdale was BSing us with that. He wasn't playing that. He was talking that, but he wasn't walking the walk. Thibodeau walking the walk. You gotta earn your minutes. So if y'all complain about Miles Powell not playing or Iggy not playing, bro, if they not playing, it's because they didn't earn the minutes. Somebody said, you gotta be kidding. You think they outplaying Iggy in practice? Apparently so. Apparently. If his behind stuck to the pond, apparently. Y'all got, come on now. And this is good for us. So like, whoever doesn't play, if Iggy doesn't play, if Miles Powell doesn't play, I know some of y'all like these guys, but if they don't play, it's because they did not make the team. They're not good enough. Okay? And you find the ones that's good, you play them. Like RJ, you play him. And the ones that don't make the cut, next. But you gotta find out. And the camp and the preseason is how you find out. In the start, this particular year, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna go 20 games into the season before we really know what we have. Y'all gotta stop tripping. We really in the beginning, preseason. Stop it. Y'all like little kids whining. Stop it. Preseason, man. These games don't even count. So, tonight, the Knicks are playing Cleveland Cavaliers. Wait, just based on what I heard, Stephen Bonnie on the front page of the Daily News, Tibbs begs management to aggressively pursue a star. That is not what he said. That is not what he said. Okay? That's why when some of these knuckleheads ask a question, you can see the looks on some of the players and the coaches' faces because they know what these fools are about. They're about creating a narrative that didn't exist to get y'all in Knicks Nation hyped for them to do something stupid. They were all creating the same narrative with Antetokounmpo. Oh, he's going to leave. Where's he going? He's going to Miami. Did y'all read that one? He's going to Miami. Or he's going to go play with LeBron. Bro stayed with Milwaukee. Why? They brought him on late in the first round, age 19. They handled him properly. They developed him properly. And as he was developing, their plans was to build around him. The good thing about Milwaukee that's different from New York, they don't have knucklehead newsmen trying to create headlines. They don't have knucklehead newsmen saying, no matter what the Milwaukee Bucks do, they're always going to stink. They didn't have that like they do in New York. Or they don't have fans claiming to be fans and saying, the Bucks are going to stink forever. Might as well give up on them. They don't have that there because they're a small market. Okay? But in New York, that noise is every day. And so I'm thankful and I'm hoping and I'm still very hopeful that Tibbs And Rose and Parent ain't paying attention to some of y'all. They ain't paying attention. They ain't paying attention to Bondi or Berman. They're not paying attention to them. And I'm glad. I'm glad. Keep the rebuilding plan going. Yes, it's ugly. I think they're going to win 31 games. But if they win 20, if they win 10, it's rebuilding time. Okay? This is where your real fans are. Understand where we at right now. What kind of coach we got right now. What kind of front office we got that's playing chess above the knuckleheads that's thinking checkers still. Okay? So tonight we got a game against Cleveland. Now we talked yesterday about the possibility that they might be looking to shop Julius Randle and Dennis Smith Jr. Let's see how much time and minutes they get, because like if they get them a lot of minutes and they still not, like if Dennis Smith Jr. ain't picked up how to pass the ball before double team comes to him, which I hope he does, and if they back up off him and he can't hit a shot or he can't make the right pass still, we'll see what happens. Okay. But we're going to see, that's the importance of tonight's game. We're going to see how the rotations go in terms of the possible trade possibilities. I, like you all, am hoping that a guy like Iggy Brazdegas gets some minutes. I'm really looking to see who he gets. I want Iggy to make the team. Y'all know that. I like Iggy. And I don't have no problem with Powell either. Okay? And we need shooters, right? But I'm looking at 3 guys tonight. IQ. I'm looking for IQ to get some more minutes today. I'm hoping that Iggy and Powell see some time today. They may not, but I'm hoping because, like y'all, I want to see the boys make a team, man. I want to see them live their dream, And if they don't, they don't. I'm not going to whine and say he should have. Can't. Anyway, whatever they earn is what they're going to play. Okay? So I'm looking for IQ because Tibbs has said that he's been very good in camp. He came in shape. He's working very hard, all the things that Tibbs likes. And he didn't get enough time Sunday. He did mention that. He only got a couple of minutes. So he's looking I'm thinking maybe to, give some more minutes to that boy today and see what he got. That's what we want to see today. And tonight, 7:30, the Cleveland Cavaliers are 2-0 in preseason. I think they've beaten Indiana too. No, they 1-1. They 1-1 like we are. They lost one to Indiana and they beat Indiana. So we're going to see what happens tonight. Okay, it's going to be Knicks night. And let's see how they roll. Let's see how much they've improved from the last weekend. That's what we're looking for. Improvement on the defensive end. Improvement in ball movement. Okay, we're looking some improved decision making from Obi. Obi got hyped. He admitted it. Sunday he was a little too hyped after having a good game on Friday. And they also adjusted for Obi. Let's see how he adjusts going forward. This is the part of the rebuilding process you want to see. And of course, I want my boy RJ to get his 17 shots. I want to see how efficient he is. He's doing very well offensively. He's doing very well defensively. He made some bonehead turnovers. So we're looking to see the reduction in turnovers from 23 a game that they've been averaging over the last 2 games. We're looking to see reduction in turnover. That's what we're looking to find out today. Improvement on an incremental level. That's what happens when you're rebuilding. Shalom.